Hello and welcome to What the Just Happened Today, your essential guide to the daily shock and awe in national politics. I'm Joe Amditis. Let's get to it. It's Wednesday, February 10th, 2021. Welcome to day 22. First up, we'll start by going over what happened during day 2 of Trump's second Senate impeachment trial. House Democrats opened their impeachment case against Trump by arguing that he assembled, inflamed, and incited the attack against the U.S. Capitol because he ran out of nonviolent ways to overturn the results of the election. House impeachment managers, calling Trump no innocent bystander, but in fact the inciter-in-chief, presented never-before-seen security footage from January 6th showing a pro-Trump mob storming the Capitol. They also played audio of Capitol Police declaring a riot and methodically detailed a nearly minute-by-minute account of what happened once the Capitol was breached. The prosecution argued that Trump sought to prime his supporters for the deadly Capitol attack months before it happened by engaging in a series of false, outlandish lies that he could only lose the election through fraud, likening Trump's actions to someone trying to light the match. The Senate is currently on break from proceedings for dinner and will resume shortly. Each trial day is expected to last about 8 hours, and House managers have 16 total hours to make their presentations, after which Trump's legal team will have the same amount of time to present its defense. Thursday's proceedings are scheduled to begin at noon Eastern. Meanwhile, Trump was reportedly very unhappy and frustrated by the performance of his lawyers during the first day of his second impeachment trial. Trump was particularly angry at Bruce Castor, one of his attorneys, for praising the House impeachment manager's presentation before delivering a meandering, nearly hour-long defense during the first day. In fact, Trump's other lawyer, David Schoen, was supposed to present first, but Castor told the Senate that they changed what they were going to do on account we thought that the House manager's presentation was well done. Castor also referred to Trump as the former president, conceding that Trump lost the 2020 election when smart voters elected Biden. One person familiar with Trump's reaction said that on a scale of 1 to 10, with 10 being the angriest, Trump was at an 8. In Georgia, prosecutors opened a criminal investigation into Trump's efforts to overturn the state's 2020 election result, including a January phone call when Trump pressured the state's top election official to find enough votes to reverse Biden's victory. In letters to state Republican officials, including Georgia Governor Brian Kemp and Secretary of State Brad Raffensperger, Fulton County District Attorney Fani Willis requested that they preserve documents related to an investigation into attempts to influence the administration of the 2020 election, with particular care being given to set aside and preserve those that may be evidence of attempts to influence the actions of persons who were administering that election. Willis did not mention Trump by name, but the letters indicate that the office is conducting a criminal investigation. Moving on, the CDC recommends double masking to reduce exposure to the coronavirus. A new study found that when you and another person double mask, or wear a surgical mask with a cloth mask on top, the risk of transmitting the virus falls more than 95%. The benefit falls to 80% if only one person wears a double mask. For optimal protection, the CDC study suggests improving the fit of the surgical mask by knotting the ear loops and tucking in the sides close to the face to form a closer fit, so the mask fits snugly against your face. When only one person adjusted their surgical mask for a tighter fit, the protection benefit of double masking fell to 60%. The CDC continues to recommend that everyone over the age of 2 should wear a mask when outside their home. Meanwhile, the White House clarified Biden's school reopening goal, saying the administration wants more than 50% of schools to have some teaching in person at least one day a week, not fully reopened by day 100. In December, Biden said his goal was for a majority of our schools to be open within 100 days, a benchmark that many schools are already hitting. White House Press Secretary Jen Psaki called the objective not the ceiling, adding, "Hopefully it's more." Last week, CDC Director Dr. Rochelle Walensky said there is increasing data to suggest that schools can safely reopen and that the vaccination of teachers is not a prerequisite for safe reopening of schools. Teachers, however, have called for more coronavirus testing, vaccinations, and other safety measures before returning to classrooms. Moving on, the Biden administration indefinitely shelved the Trump administration's forced U.S. takeover of TikTok. Last year, Trump ordered a ban on the Chinese-owned app, citing national security concerns, unless it allowed for Oracle and Walmart to take a large ownership stake in the popular video app. And finally, Biden announced new sanctions against Myanmar and those who were involved in the military coup in that country, as he signed an executive order imposing strong export controls and freezing U.S. assets that benefit Myanmar's government. Biden said the military must relinquish power seized and demonstrate respect for the role of the people. And in the polls, the Associated Press says 67% of Americans say they plan to get the COVID-19 vaccine or have already done so. 15% say they're certain that they won't, and 17% say they probably won't. And Gallup says 37% of Americans say they have a positive opinion of the Republican Party, down from 43% in November. 48% say they have a positive opinion of the Democratic Party.
That's all for now. You can find the links and sources for all of these stories on the main website. And as always, visit whatthefjusthappenedtoday.com for the latest news and headlines. Until next time, I'm Joe Amditas.